So Big Grass is really the first project that Ducks Unlimited Canada did. For me, it's interesting to think about being in those guys' shoes back in 1938, thinking about, they had this money flowing from the US, had to put conservation on the ground and had never really done that before. So kind of a daunting challenge, but Big Grass was the first project kind of to kickstart things, to get things up and running. Since 1938, it's been in place. We still operate it today, and it still provides really important staging habitat for ducks and geese and cranes as they're moving through Manitoba.
Big Grass Marsh is one of 300 wetland projects in southern Manitoba that we continue to manage on an annual basis. And from the 1930s until 1980s, we built many of those projects here that acted as oasis for waterfowl during times of drought. And that was the mission of DU at the time. And these projects are managed on an annual basis, inspected, operated, and we continue to develop relationships with the landowner partners that we have and the new landowner partners that we get in these projects.
Yeah, so Big Grass does contain quite a diversity of waterfowl and water bird population. On a recent inspection in the area, we found, I think it was around 10 different duck species and around 14 other waterfowl species and water bird species in the area. It's also recognized as a globally important bird area. A lot of that is based on the prevalence and amount of nesting Franklin gulls that are in the marsh. So it's, obviously very significant not only on the local scale, but also on the global scale as well. So historically, Big Grass has seen quite a change over its history. About the turn of the 20th century, the Big Grass was about 99,000 acres in size. And throughout around the period about 1909 to 1916, Big Grass seen a significant change of the drainage of the native wetland in the area and conversion to agriculture. To the present date, where the current full supply level on Big Grass Marsh is about 7,300 wetland acres. So it's less than 10% of what it would have been historically at the turn of the 20th century. It plays in sort of many circumstances, but just again, given the scale and size of Big Grass at 7,300 acres and what it provides to not only the local population for waterfowl, but also the continental population as a whole.
I guess probably the biggest importance is just that it was our historic, first project. So the very, conservation roots of the DU organization starts here at Big Grass Marsh. So that's really important, but it still plays an important biological role too. We have key staging marshes like that restored and protected, but we've also got a bunch of work that we do in some surrounding landscapes on key breeding habitat now. So we've kind of got both sides of that coin covered, the production side and then the staging side during the migration.
Right, well, it will continue to be a project that we manage on an annual basis. It is the first project that we ever built, so it has a long-lasting legacy within Ducks Unlimited. To think of, the foresight that our forefathers had 85 years ago to come out here and start creating these oases on the landscape, protecting them, restoring them so that waterfowl had areas to go to. And I see that as a legacy going forward for the marsh and for Ducks Unlimited, and something we can always look back on and thank our forefathers for having that vision that has modified over the years but has created the legacy that we have now.
Yeah, so in terms of just thinking of the amount of impact that we manage 450,000 acres across Manitoba, and the amount of ecological goods and services that it provides beyond the duck value as well, but also the waterfowl value. So it's just knowing that how much of an impact it can have locally as well as a larger scale in terms of the continental waterfowl population, as well as the other ecological goods and services values that not only Big Grass but the rest of the projects across Manitoba provide as well.
Having those areas that they can take advantage of and have that secure roosting water is really important. Allows them to stop and kind of rest and fuel up and really stockpile those nutrient reserves that they need to either head south or head back north and be ready to breed.
The Habitat Asset Management Program, which is our existing maintenance of the projects in the area. Sometimes it's not a nice new shiny project, it's been on the ground for 30, 50 years. Sometimes it's almost taken for granted that those continue and are maintained. And sometimes the funding isn't always there for those continuing habitat asset management projects across the landscape. So we're always looking at new avenues and new funding sources to continue on with them.
It was really the chance to impact these landscapes that we know are super important for the birds. If we don't protect the landscapes that they breed in and these staging areas, we won't have healthy populations. So that's what keeps me motivated and excited about coming to work, is the opportunity to have that impact and really to leave a lasting legacy that generations to come will look back on and be thankful for, I think.